Cristiano Ronaldo lost his mind when they stole this goal from him. And that's why Messi left Paris Saint-Germain. These are the most selfish moments in football. Let's start with Cristiano Ronaldo, who completely lost it with a teammate from the national team. He was about to score a historic goal when Nani tried to steal the spotlight. The worst part? Nani was offside. So not only did he mess up Cristiano's goal, but he also hurt the entire team. Just look at Ronaldo's face after the play. And that's not all. Check out what Gareth Bale said in an interview when asked about Cristiano.
How was Ronaldo?
It was actually okay. He had his moments where, like for example, if we win 5-0, he doesn't score. He comes in, throws his boots like he's angry. It's crazy.
There have been several times where Ronaldo was caught being upset because a teammate scored instead of him. Paris Saint-Germain was complete chaos. When Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar played together, it was one problem after another. Starting with Messi, who scolded Verratti after not receiving a pass. And the worst part is that it was a Champions League game against Real Madrid, and Messi had planned to play with Verratti before the match. But that's nothing compared to what happened next. TV cameras caught Mbappe complaining about Neymar's selfishness. This only happened with Mbappe because Neymar would pass the ball to other teammates just fine. Check out what happened earlier in that same match. Maybe that's why this team didn't work out. And to be fair, Mbappe was also selfish when it was just him and Neymar on the attack. But Anthony did something worse. He had 3 players to pass to and everything lined up for Manchester United to take the lead. But he made the worst decision possible. Look at the teammates' reactions.
Fernandes, Anthony! Onto the roof of the net. It was a lovely move by Manchester United. It deserved the goal.
He also did this to Cristiano Ronaldo. Instead of passing, he just played around with the ball. And Ronaldo's reaction was epic. Ronaldo went through some tough times at Manchester United. One player even had the nerve to try and steal a goal from him, and Cristiano was furious. Check out this bizarre play by Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo's reaction. It seems Bruno is quite selfish. Look at what he did here. After the game, Casemiro gave him a serious scolding for it. But in this other play, Bruno was the victim. He was right in front of the goal, and his teammate decided to do this instead. Cristiano Ronaldo also dealt with selfish plays in the Portugal national team. He was livid when no one passed the ball to him in this play. And there's more. Check out his reaction when his teammate missed an easy pass. The funniest part is that the messed up pass turned into a goal. But Ronaldo's had his selfish moment too. Take a look at this play where he chose to do the hardest thing and ended up failing. Would you have the courage to complain to Cristiano Ronaldo like that? And that wasn't the only time. At Juventus, he tried to get a touch on the ball to steal a teammate's goal. The problem? He was offside, and the goal didn't count. Who would have thought that years later, he would do the same thing Nani did to him? In a match for Portugal, he tried to steal another goal. The striker didn't even touch the ball, but he was determined to claim the goal as his own. The worst part is, when they credited the goal to Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo was not happy at all. Now, look at what they did to Ronaldinho Gaúcho. He was about to score an incredible goal when someone just stole it from him. And being as humble as he is, the Brazilian celebrated the goal like nothing happened. But if there's one team with more selfish players than Manchester United, it's Chelsea. Let's start with this play, where 2 players tried to finish off a move and everything went wrong. This happened during that same period. They managed to sign the most selfish players in football. But this other incident is even worse. Chelsea earned a penalty because of a handball, and that's when the problems started. Jorginho wanted to take it, but Barkley wouldn't let him because he wanted the glory. Then Willian stepped up asking to take it as well, but Barkley refused. And here's what happened. In the end, the Blues lost the game, and all the blame fell on Barkley. In another play, the striker did everything just right, dribbled past the goalkeeper, and had the perfect chance to make a legendary assist. But he tried to score himself and ended up embarrassing himself. And that's not all. Years later, Sterling was signed, and in one of his first games, he pulled this one off. Maybe that's why Guardiola let him go. Speaking of that, check out the goal Sterling stole from Aguero. The best part is the look on Aguero's face. He didn't even celebrate. But nothing compares to this moment when Guardiola almost stormed onto the pitch. The play was so bizarre that the coach's reaction was priceless. Anyway, a similar situation to Barkley's penalty incident happened during this Fulham game. Kamara literally fought his teammate to take the penalty and ended up embarrassing himself. Something similar happened at Galatasaray too. Two players grabbed the ball at the same time to take a penalty, and they almost ended up throwing punches. During the pandemic, when stadiums were empty, we got to see just how selfish Ibrahimovic is. He spent an entire game complaining about Çalhanoğlu for not passing the ball to him.
Give me the ball. Give it to him. That's all. He's sleeping. Give the ball.
It must be super annoying to play with a guy like that. The only thing worse is you watching the video this far without leaving a like or subscribing. Now, look at what they did to Haaland. Foden managed to get the striker completely frustrated. And that wasn't the only time they snubbed the Norwegian. Look at his reaction when they didn't pass him an easy ball. This moment really angered the fans. It was a simple pass to Griezmann, and France would have scored, but the forward decided to do otherwise, and Griezmann wasn't happy about it. But we have to talk about one of football's greatest rivalries. Salah, Firmino, and Mane made up one of the most lethal attacking trios in history. But two of these players couldn't stand each other. Mane and Salah simply didn't get along because each thought the other was too selfish. And apparently, Salah wins the selfishness battle. In this match, he was so selfish, even Klopp lost his patience. That trio only worked because Firmino was there to make the ball move between them. If it were up to the other two, neither would pass to the other. It doesn't matter how much a striker loves to score goals. There's no excuse for not passing to a teammate in that situation. This player shamelessly stole a goal right in front of everyone and celebrated like nothing was wrong. Lukaku is the star of the Belgian national team, but someone managed to completely snub him. Check out the striker's reaction. Richarlison did something bizarre in the Premier League. He did everything right leading up to the goal, but when it came time to finish, he tried to be selfish and failed miserably. Apparently, he got a reputation at the club because in another game, when he grabbed the ball to take a penalty, the team captain scolded him. The Brazilian wasn't happy at all and didn't even celebrate his teammate's goal afterward. In this other play, he was right in front of the goal but was completely ignored, and it was the turf that suffered the consequences of his frustration. The players on his team crossed the line. They almost got into a fist fight over a selfish shot. Someone saved Balotelli from embarrassing himself. He tried to be selfish and take a penalty in place of Samuel Eto'o, but Zanetti, the team captain, stepped in and let Eto'o have this moment. The same thing happened years later, but this time, no one was there to stop the striker from making a mistake. He didn't let Liverpool's captain take the penalty and even insulted the guy, with the cameras recording everything. Luckily, he managed to score. Speaking of embarrassment, when he was playing for City, Balotelli was one-on-one with the goalkeeper and missed on purpose.
Are you kidding me?
Come on, if he didn't want to score, he could have at least passed the ball. Minutes after that, the coach subbed him off, and rightfully so.
Look at Mancini. Boy, this is problematic here. Very interesting stuff here.
It's a shame no one was there to save Icardi. When the striker was playing for Inter, he made a bizarre play and almost got into a fight with a teammate. The other players had to step in to prevent things from escalating. Now, let's move to a strange moment in women's football. There were literally 3 players against the goalkeeper, and they managed to steal the ball. But none of them had the humility to let the others score. I bet this is exactly how you feel when you end up on a team with that one friend who never passes the ball. The guy was so fed up that he just gave up on the play. They ended up fighting, and it got ugly. Saka really embarrassed himself in this play. All he had to do was pass the ball to Rice, who was coming into the box, but instead, he went for the shot, and the opposing fans couldn't stop laughing. In this other play, Gabriel Martinelli was completely snubbed. His teammate had several chances to pass him the ball, but decided to go for glory alone. Arteta lost his mind. Now, this PSG player talked about the penalty drama at the club. When Neymar first arrived, he was pretty arrogant with Cavani and showed just how selfish he could be. But the Uruguayan didn't just stand there. When it came time to take a penalty, he grabbed the ball and took the shot himself to prove he was still the team's leader. Unfortunately for him, things went horribly wrong. And the same thing happened years later, but this time Neymar was the victim. Mbappe wanted to become the team's penalty taker, and to do so, he literally took the ball out of Neymar's hands. But it backfired. Not only did Mbappe miss the shot, but PSG was awarded another penalty, and Neymar stepped up to show how it's done. It was clear to the whole world that Mbappe didn't have what it took to be the leader of the team. Palmer had a brilliant season at Chelsea, but it seems like the fame got to his head. Look how the player disrespected his teammates, all just to take a penalty. Harry Kane had the chance to help England win the game, but tried to solve everything by himself. The result was this. Now we understand why he still hasn't won a major title. This player was so mad that he took it all out on the goalpost. Do you think that kick hurt? What happened after this play will surprise you. These 2 players fought over taking a free kick, and the tension was palpable on the pitch. But once the goal was scored, they were humble enough to let bygones be bygones.
On the screen is a video with the most emotional moments in football history.